Hey you guys, it's Teresa and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about my March TBR, and I have high hopes for someone who is like in a partial reading slump. So let's get into it. But the first book that I'm planning on reading in March is one that I actually finished already, and that is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, A Counterintuitive Approach to Living a Good Life by Mark Manson. I only have the cover right now because my sister is currently borrowing the book. But this is essentially a self-help book that kind of tells you that the best way to go about life is to not care, essentially, and to find out what things are worth caring about. So I will do more about this in a wrap-up, but I definitely enjoyed what I read so far. The next book that I'm reading in 2019 in March is Dumplin' by Julie Murphy. This is a really popular book, and I've been putting it off. I put off reading it for a long time. Then the movie came out, and now I really can't put it off anymore because everyone wants me to watch the movie, but I want to read the book first. Essentially, this follows Willow Dean as she lives in a small town in, I think, Georgia? Clover City. Yeah, and her mom is a well-known kind of beauty pageant queen, but Willow Dean doesn't fit those standards, so she signs up for a pageant kind of trying to prove that there are more than kind of like one set of like one kind of a winner, and surprising herself as well as the town of Clover City. I'm excited to pick this up. Everyone has good things to say about it, and there's already a sequel called Puddin', so I want to read that, and then I can watch the movie, finally. It's been like months. The next book that I'm reading in March is one that I should have read in December during my sequel kind of binging, but I didn't get a chance to get to it, and that is Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. This is the This is the fifth book in the Throne of Glass series, and it is a chunky one. She is a thick child. But with this being the fifth book, it essentially follows Selena Sardothian, who is an assassin who has been saved from the slave camps of Endovir and has been placed in the Champions Battle, where she has to fight to be the champion of Adarlan? But yes. Oh, there's a map. There's a map. Adarlan, yes. It's essentially she becomes a champion of Adarlan, and after I think a few years of being the king's champion, she then has a chance to live out her life how she wants. And if I don't remember the entire synopsis, it is because I am on the fifth book, and the events from the first book to the fifth book have changed drastically, as seems to be Sarah J. Maas's favorite thing to do with her novels. The next book is another one that I have finished already, and that is Wild Embers, Poems of Rebellion, Fire, and Beauty by Nikita Gill. Like I said, I finished this already, and I loved every single minute of it, but since this is a wrap-up, and this is a TBR, not a wrap-up, you won't hear about it. But essentially, this is a poetry collection. I think this is her second poetry collection, with her first one being My Soul is a River, which I can't find anywhere, but it's fine. And she's a popular author in the UK, and I was very excited to go ahead and pick this up. It had a lot of good things in this collection, and I can't talk more about it because it is a TBR. The next book I plan on reading in March is China Rich Girlfriend by Kevin Kwan. This is the sequel to Crazy Rich Asians, which I read back in July, September-ish. So that kind of chunk there. And essentially this follows the events directly after Crazy Rich Asians, where if you don't know, Rachel Chu is Nick Young's longtime girlfriend, and finally he takes her back to Singapore to meet his family, where she finds out that he's super freaking rich, and his family kind of doesn't like her because she is not of the same kind of classist, like the wealthy aspect of the classes. Words, sentences, I'm an English major, so she has to deal with that kind of fallout. But I am excited to pick this up. I heavily enjoy Crazy Rich Asians. I do have a tea talk on it, I believe. So I will leave that down below if you guys want to hear my thoughts. But I also really love the movie. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the sequel soon, hopefully in March, and enjoy it. Granted, I might need a refresher, but it's fine. The next book that I'm picking up in March is one that I'm super excited for, and that is Circe by Madeline Miller. Yes, I finally got the copy, but if you guys don't know, I'm a huge fan of Madeline Miller. I love the Song of Achilles. I never shut up about it, so yeah. But this one essentially follows the myth of Circe, who is a daughter of the Titans, I believe, and she lives with the humans. And after all the things that happened during I think it was the Trojan War. She is stuck choosing between the humans she loves and the gods that she is supposed to be a part of. And I don't know a ton about the Cersei myth, so I think I have to refresh myself on that before I jump into this book, but that's okay. The next book I am planning on reading in March is one that I started in February, and that is Myths and Legends by Jake Jackson, and it has classical Greek, Celtic, Norse, Chinese, African, and Native American, and more. And I am only in the Chinese myths. I took a bit of a breather from it, but I definitely am enjoying it so far. I need to get more into different kinds of mythology, so I decided to pick this book up since it seems to kind of have a huge base of mythology, a more well-known mythology anyway. So I'm excited to finish this and learn more things. And so far I am learning a ton about how everything kind of has patterns. Like there are a lot of myths that seem to line up with other cultures, but I think that might be due to like imperialism and colonialism and all those things that we all kind of hate but have to deal with because that's what happened to us. And finally, the last book in my TBR is one that I'm nearly finished, and that is Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. This is a short story collection that kind of encompasses all the violence that happens to women throughout their lives. And this has a lot of magical realism in it, some sci-fi, some horror, and I'm definitely enjoying it. I got really into the first 3 books, like the first 3 ones, and like finished it in like a day. So I should be finishing this up really soon, but I'm excited to read more of her works as I think she's coming out with another book, or her memoir. So yeah. But that is it for my March TBR. A little ambitious considering I kind of am in the middle of a weird slump. I blame the lack of sunshine and the last book that I read in February, but hoping to get out of it as soon as I finish the short story collection. If you guys want to see more of me, I do upload twice a week unless something happens. If you like these videos, I do have a bunch of TBRs posted. But if you have any books that you want me to do a tea talk or a book of the week on, which I think I have those planned for March, please let me know. If you have any books you want me to prioritize, like right away, also let me know. And if you have any suggestions for me to read for next month or to pick up later on in the year, there are comments for that. But if you guys have any, want to see me anywhere else, I will leave my social media links and my blog down below. But until next time, I'll talk to you guys everywhere else. Bye!